put a new turbo on it.
We're gonna remap the ECU.
Oh my
We're gonna
God,
track day this car and race fam's Porsche Turbo. Hello, Uncle Ronald.
Hello.
So, welcome back to the channel. You're pretty much a regular guest, or a permanent guest on the channel anyways. And basically, to start off today, well, everyone saw from the last video, we ended up with another car. And I think to keep tradition going, like continuing from Tappy, our Mark IV Golf GTI, we got to give this Audi TT a name as well, right, Ronald?
Absolutely. So the name we've given our new Audi TT is called Temper T.
Hey! and the reason why we're giving it the name Temper T, because it seems like these Mark 1 Audi TTs with this particular engine or this batch have a temperature issue, basically an overheating issue, so Temper T just came naturally, I guess.
Exactly. So yeah, this particular generation was just plagued for overheating issues. I've done some diagnosis on this particular issue, which will go into what has actually happened. It's been quite a lot. It's been a nice little experiment. In touching on quite a few different things I've never done before, so yeah, it's been fun.
Right. And some people might be thinking, it's like, so what's happening with the Mark IV Golf GTI? So just to let everyone know, I mean, we've decided, we had a team meeting one day, and we decided it's best to redirect our attention to the Audi TT, because we believe it'll be a car that we can complete a lot quicker. Given like the Golf is almost there, but it still needs a lot of time in certain areas, and there's a lot of cosmetic work that needs doing. So in terms of time, we feel like redirecting our attention to the Audi TT would be much better, I guess, because we can get it sorted, get it done, and boom, flip it, right?
Yeah. So that was the plan. The plan was to focus attention on TT. TT's got more money, more profit in it, if I'll be honest. And then the profit from that we can use to fix up Tappy, the little cosmetic stuff. Currently, Tappy engine runs fine. Tappy noise is pretty much gone. It's literally just the gear selector. So the car struggles to go into gear. So that's kind of my next kind of task when I've got a bit of free time, is jump back on that and just basically just strip down the gear selection part, connect it to the gearbox, and then just rebuild it and then see how it gets on.
Oh, and then once that's sorted out, there's a few cosmetic bits. So it's basically the driver's side door, just realigning it, the passenger side rear window needs to, well, it's gone, it needs to be replaced. Yeah, one of the front wings, replace the boot lid,
and it needs another good clean.
Yeah, and that's where I come in. That's where I come in. Don't worry, I've got you on that part. And yeah, that's about it, right? Wait, do we need is any no? Oh, the bonnet.
Yes.
Yeah. But apart from that, yeah, it's almost there. So that's that part out the way. Next, I think the main reason why we're having this call is to find out what's going on with the Audi TT, because you have been mad busy with the Audi TT. You've literally blitzed through so much, trying to get this, figure out how to put this engine back together, because the car literally was, delivered to you in bits, parts all over the place, and you literally just have to reverse whatever someone else has done on this engine. So props to you for putting it all back together again. But I think you've got quite some major news for us today.
Yes, so let's kind of go back to the beginning, go through the progress. So car kind of came to me in bits, valve cover off, timing belt loose, cut cables, cut hoses, unclipped. Like it was a madness. Over the last kind of like few weeks, I've just been spending some time before I start work, when I come home from work, just a little bit here and there. I spent like the last kind of few days just tackling the timing belt, because the timing belt was actually due for a change anyway. So I was like, well, whilst I'm in there kind of putting all the hoses back together, I might as well just do the timing belt, right? So done that, checked that out, that was fine. Did have some issues with timing. I didn't time it properly the first time, so the car wasn't starting properly. So literally repeat that process, took me a couple of hours, and that part was fine. So today happens, put everything back together, tested it, cranked it over, no start. I was like, well, okay, that's what happened the last time, and that issue I thought was timing belt. So I was like, cool, I'll check the timing belt on the camshaft, check it on the crankshaft, check it on the flywheel on the opposite side of the engine. Everything was in time, so that wasn't an issue. Checked the spark plugs, took the spark plugs, isolated it, just basically left it outside of the engine. Is there any spark? Yes. So that rules out ignition coil and spark. However, there was some fuel residue on the actual spark plugs themselves. So I was like, okay, maybe that's just because I've been cranking it over, just kind of flooded the engine, like a pun you mentioned that earlier today. Still nothing though, after I cleaned everything up. Went to Euro, got myself a compression tester, done a test. No compression.
You know, you sound like Sam
all
Crack
4
now.
cylinders.
You sound like Sam.
Yeah, it rings a bell, innit?
It reminds me of when his Ferrari rebuilds, like just compression test everything, just trying to figure out why his Ferrari is so broken.
And his Range Rover that he did as well. So basically, the summary is that our engine is got either a cracked cylinder head or multiple blown piston rings. Either way, it's going to have to be an engine replacement. An engine replacement is going to be quite a big job. I've never done it before. But to be fair, I'm a third of the way into taking it apart anyway.
Yeah.
So all I need to really do is get myself an engine crane, and this bad boy's coming out hopefully next week.
And you guess you got to do a bit of tidying up in that garage, because you only need space.
I'm going to need some space. I've done a lot of work tidying up over the last kind of like week or so. So it's a lot better than it was. I'm just looking at the garage right now. I reckon I'll be alright.
Yeah, where are you going to put 2 engines?
And
how are you going to get in? How are you going to get into the garage past the TT first?
What, the crane?
The engine.
So the engine is not as big as you think it is, right?
But you're thinking it's going to slip through the side of the TT and your garage wall just so you can, and it's not going to be light, you know.
Oh yeah, gosh, yeah.
So we're going to push the TT out to get your engine in.
I'm going to have to, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Don't worry, I got the planning covered.
Yeah. Oh god, it's going to be long. Yeah, basically I've got to move the TT out, to get the engine. So
well, let's get the engine out first anyways. We'll get the engine out first and then we'll worry about it. So that's the next part is probably do a time lapse of just getting the engine out. I have no idea how long it's going to take. Probably from this particular point where I'm at now. I'll make it look like you've done it in 20 minutes. Yeah. When I do the editing.
I reckon it's going to be about 4 hours.
But in terms of YouTube content, I'll make it look like you did it in 20 minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it should be fun, man. It should be fun, definitely.
Oh, exciting! Like, so, stuff to look forward to in the future. So definitely keep an eye out on what's going on, because Ronald's going to show us how he takes the engine apart, and if you come across any problems, you're going to document that, and there's going to be lots of tips and advice as to what
and oh my god, a lot of photos.
Well. Yeah.
And a lot of oh my god. The amount of stuff I've had to kind of like, how many videos I've watched just to see how other people's engines are put together, to know where certain hoses were. Haynes manual is great, but there are just certain things which it just does not show. Yeah. So you just kind of have to like guess, like based on like the curvature of the hose, like it looks like it's going to point towards the throttle body. Okay, so then plug that in. Like that's mad. It's great.
Right. It's going to be fun. Sounds like you're going to have a fun time.
I told you, didn't I, though, bruv? I said I want to take the engine out at some point this year.
Yeah, you just didn't think it would be this soon.
Of the car. Didn't think it's going to be this soon, though. Not on our second build. So, yeah.
It's going to be fun. And at least by the time you're done, the weather should be good enough for me to detail both of these cars.
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, now we know that obviously the TT is going to be out of action for a little bit longer. I'll probably shift focus once the engine's out, because we still need to source an engine. That's going to be another challenge in itself.
Yeah.
Because it's a specific engine code we need, and also we don't want too high mileage. I'll shift focus.
Aren't you fancy? I don't want too high mileage.
No, because this TT engine is only 100,000 miles. Like, I don't want it to, like, I saw one on eBay today that was 180. I'm like, no, I don't want that.
Oh.
I don't mind a high mileage, but I'd rather not. I'd rather get something similar to what we've had before. But then obviously it's going to have a lot of replacement parts in there, because there's a lot of good parts in this engine. So
yeah, good. Alright, so basically to summarise, we need a new engine because R1 has obviously suffered something catastrophic, so I'm guessing it must have overheated and damaged the engine, and that's why it's not starting properly.
Exactly. What I'm really kind of wanting to kind of go into like CSI mode is honestly, no joke, bro. Because this has been such a really cool experiment where we're guessing what stuff is wrong, what's the history, what's the backstory, why did it get to co-parts in bits? Why would you not just put it back together? Now it's all kind of unraveling, it's all making sense. If it was a head gasket, you could probably go ahead and just fix the engine. It's not terminal. But if your car is overheating, it's busted the piston rings, that's an engine out job, right? That's a lot of labour. Why would you not just put the stuff back together if you're going to eventually sell the car? Well, because you were told, don't do anything, just literally leave it, I'm going to buy myself another car, and you just do whatever you want with it. And that's basically what's happened. So, based on that, once the engine comes out, maybe I'll do a proper...
engine rebuild?
I actually can do that. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. Honestly, I'm not scrapping the engine. I'm going to keep it. Because it's only 95,000 miles, right? We can put a new turbo on it if needs be, right? Honest, I'm not joking, bro. Put a new turbo on it.
We're going to stage 2 this engine. We're going to remap the ECU. We're going to track day this car and race Fam's Porsche Turbo S.
I will whack that Porsche. Listen, honestly, now you got me hyped now. No, so basically I'm going to shut down the old engine, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to redo... I think I'm going to redo everything. Yeah, redo the piston rings. I'm going to find out how much the cylinder head is to get skimmed. And also, I'd love to just get the cylinder head off to see if there are any actual cracks in it, because that might answer a lot of theories that I have.
Okay.
But I just didn't.
Right,
because I remember when I said that, I didn't think it was a head gasket. It just didn't exhibit the symptoms. But alas, we didn't have a compression tester. Probably should have bought one in the very beginning. That would have answered a lot of our questions. But even if head gasket's gone, you won't get no compression whatsoever. That's really peculiar. Honestly, I've never seen anything like it.
Well, I'd say everyone, if you're curious what's happened to this particular Audi TT's engine, I'd say stay tuned, subscribe, make sure you hit the notification button so you know when the new content is up, because we're going to keep you informed, and Uncle Ronald is going to tell you what's going on with this Audi TT.
Cool. Yeah, stay tuned for some updates, guys. Lots of cool stuff coming.
Cool. Anything you'd like to say to everyone, Ronald?
No, that's it for me, man.
Alright,
Thanks
calm.
for watching, definitely.
Yes, thank you for watching. So make sure, if you're liking the content, make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification button, and also like the video if you're enjoying it. So we will see you next time on the channel. Take care, everyone.
See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.